You can imagine an extraordinary future for yourself. You can see the business, the body, the career, the version of you who finally became impossible to ignore. Then you spend 3 hours doing almost nothing. It looks contradictory. Ambition should create action, right? But the real answer is far stranger. You may not be lazy at all. You may be trapped between a mind that loves distant rewards and a nervous system that prefers immediate relief. Psychologists call part of this problem the intention-action gap. You genuinely intend to act, yet your action fails to follow the plan. They are produced by different calculations happening at different moments. When you imagine success, the reward is clean. You see recognition, freedom, money, mastery. Imagination gives you the emotion of the destination without demanding the discomfort of the journey. Then the moment to work arrives. The future becomes a blank document, a difficult phone call, an hour at the gym, the grand identity disappears, and a small and pleasant task takes its place. Researcher Piers Steele helped develop Temporal Motivation Theory to explain this shift. A goal becomes more motivating when you value it, believe you can achieve it, and feel close to the reward. Motivation weakens when the reward is far away and distractions offer pleasure now. This is why you can care deeply about a goal in January and ignore it on an ordinary Tuesday. Ambition measures the destination. Behavior responds to what feels rewarding and urgent now. In a longitudinal study, Steele and his colleagues followed how people worked across stages of a real course. Procrastination was connected to the gap between intention and action, not to a lack of intention. People planned to work. The delay grew when the planned action was far away and temptations were close. So why does the ambitious procrastinator often become productive just before a deadline? Because distance collapses. The future consequence suddenly becomes immediate. The task is not easier. Time has changed the calculation. Urgency finally becomes stronger than avoidance. But distance is only one part of the trap. Ambitious people often set goals that are enormous but vague. Build a company. Transform your life. Become successful. These goals are exciting to imagine and almost useless as instructions. Your brain cannot begin a transformation. It can only begin an action. The gap between your current self and your ideal self can make the first step threatening. Starting creates evidence that your ability may not yet match your vision. Avoidance protects the fantasy for another day. This is where perfectionism can enter. Perfectionism is not simply caring about quality. A meta-analysis by Ivana Osink, Paul Williamson, and Tracy Wade found that different forms of perfectionism relate differently to learning. Pursuing excellence is not the same as being trapped by mistakes and self-criticism. If your first attempt must prove that you are talented, beginning becomes dangerous. A rough draft feels like a verdict. A slow workout feels like humiliation. A small launch feels unworthy of the future you imagined. So you wait until you feel ready. Readiness rarely arrives. Self-efficacy matters too. It means believing you can perform the required behavior. Studies of perfectionism and procrastination suggest confidence can explain part of the relationship, although findings vary. The important distinction is simple. Wanting an outcome is not the same as believing you can execute the next step. You can dream of becoming a writer while lacking confidence to produce one imperfect page. The dream is large, the behavioral doorway is narrow. Calling yourself lazy hides all of this. It turns a specific problem into an identity. It tells you that the engine is broken when the real problem may be distance, uncertainty, emotional avoidance, or a task that was never made concrete. The solution is not to make the dream more exciting. You have probably done that enough. The solution is to shorten the distance between intention and reward. Define an action so small that it can happen now. Make progress visible. Reduce the number of choices required to begin. Let the first version be evidence of movement, not evidence of your worth. Do not ask whether you feel ambitious today. Ask what action your environment makes easiest in the next 5 minutes. You can imagine an extraordinary future for yourself, but the version of you who reaches it is built by ordinary actions that no longer need to feel extraordinary.